Okay, so we all know George Orwell's 1984, right? It's a classic. But what happens when you take that classic and shove it through the internet? Well, that's what we're digging into. We're going to decode this fascinating little digital artifact that tries to cram Orwell's entire masterpiece into the time it takes to watch a TV ad.
Yep, that's the promise. A YouTube channel called 1 Minute Books says they can give you the entire book in just 3 minutes. Think about that. The whole dystopian world of 1984 boiled down to less than the length of a pop song. I mean, it's just a perfect example of our time, right? Where attention is everything and faster is always better.
And that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Can you really, truly explain a book that defined a century in the time it takes to microwave popcorn? You've got these huge, complex ideas of surveillance and truth, and you're going to nail it in 180 seconds? It just feels impossible. But you know what's wild? It's not just that someone tried to do this, it's how many people are actually tuning in.
We're not talking about some obscure video that nobody's seen. Look at this number, over 312,000 views. That's a lot of people. It's pretty clear there's a real hunger out there for this kind of super fast, condensed knowledge. Which, of course, makes you wonder, who is this actually for? Who are all these people watching? Are they just curious? Maybe someone who read it in high school and needs a quick refresher? Or is there a much more specific target audience? Well, it turns out we don't have to guess. The video's own description gives us a giant clue.
And there it is, right in the description. Forget SparkNotes and Course Hero. Use 1 Min Books for all your studying. Wow. Okay, so this isn't just a fun little summary. It's literally being sold as a replacement for actual study tools. The message here is loud and clear. Maybe you don't even need to bother with the book.
So you've got this split, right? The classic student who actually reads the whole novel versus the modern student who just watches a 3-minute summary. It's this perfect picture of a bigger shift from, deep dives to pure raw efficiency. But here's the twist. It turns out this whole student shortcut thing, that's just the surface level. The real story here is something totally different. Because as we kept digging into this, we realized something. The most interesting part isn't the video itself. No, that little 3-minute clip is not the main event. It's more like a signpost, pointing to something way, way bigger happening just off screen.
It's what's hiding in plain sight. You see, the real action is in the digital space that YouTube builds around the video. It's in those little breadcrumbs the algorithm drops for you. So the key isn't to just watch the video, it's to look at what's sitting right next to it.
So what does YouTube think you should watch next? Yep, we're talking about the recommended videos sidebar. This is where the magic happens. This is where the algorithm spills the beans on what it thinks this video is really about and what rabbit hole it wants to send you down next. And let me tell you, when you look at it, the pattern is just undeniable.
Okay, look at this. The algorithm isn't suggesting other 3-minute book reports. Not at all. It's pushing these incredibly urgent, right now video essays. Check out these titles. And the view counts. 1984 tried to warn you. That has 5.2 million views. Why Orwell's 1984 feels disturbingly relevant. The chilling parallels between 1984 and today. It's this constant pounding drumbeat, and it's all about today.
And boom! Suddenly, it all clicks into place. This 3-minute summary, it isn't an endpoint. It was never meant to be the last stop. It's more than just a trick to pass a quiz. It's playing a totally different, and frankly, a much more powerful role. It's a gateway. That's what it is. A super simple, low-effort doorway into a way bigger, way more intense conversation. See, when you watch that little summary, you're basically telling the algorithm, hey, I'm interested in 1984. And the algorithm says, got it, let me show you what this is really about. We're going to call this the algorithmic rabbit hole. It's how a simple little summary video becomes a portal. It pulls you away from talking about a historical novel and drops you right into this huge, urgent, and algorithm-curated conversation about its relevance to today. So when you step back, you see it. The real conversation happening about 1984 online, it's not about literature class. It's not historical analysis. It's happening right now, and it feels urgent. The book has basically become this lens we use to look at our own world. It's a present-day warning, a source of modern parallels, and an ongoing reality check. What we're really seeing here is the shift from a novel to content. On the one hand, you have 1984, the novel, a historical warning to be studied. But on the other, you have 1984, the content, a current event to be consumed. It's not just a static book written back in 1949 anymore. In this online world, it's a living, breathing piece of media that's constantly being reframed as something happening today.
And that, right there, is the big takeaway. The ideas in the book are no longer just sitting on the page. Things like thought crime, doublethink, Big Brother, they've broken free. They're part of our actual, living digital vocabulary now. And it's all powered by an algorithm that can take a simple summary and turn it into the front door for this massive universe of commentary on our modern world.
Which leaves us with one last kind of big question to chew on. When a powerful warning like 1984 becomes just another piece of content, endlessly recycled by an algorithm, does its message actually get louder? Or does it all just become quieter, like background noise?